All right, welcome to Statistical Saturday. What's Statistical Saturday? Let me tell you, each month I go into depth with my inner circle the statistics that are really driving forces in the real estate market in Western Washington here. We look at those stats, we look at the trends, and we use them to kind of analyze what may be coming in Western Washington real estate, and then people use that to make investments in the real estate market. This week specifically, we're going to be taking a look at Whatcom County. So if you own a home in Whatcom County, this is really pertinent information for you. So let's get started. All right, so the first stat that we're going to look at is the percent of list price to sales price. And what that means is, what the home was listed at as opposed to what it actually sold for. And the interesting thing, you can see this line here. This is a one-year line. We were down at 98.1% in January of 2020. That's pretty typical for a January thing. And then we hit COVID and it went down a little bit. We are now March 2021, 103.9. And what this is it's such a clear indication that there is a massive amount of buyer demand, that almost every home on the market, I can't say every home, but almost every home has multiple offers on it that end up driving the price up. And buyers are approaching these situations understanding that the list price is really just a place to begin. So if you're a seller right now, this is wonderful news for you. Or if you're thinking about selling, we have not seen this far above 100% in, let's take a look here. 5 years? Nope. 10 years? Nope. So not in 10 years, not in over 10 years have we seen a 103.9% list price percentage. It's just, that's crazy. But where this really comes into play is if we take a look at the median sales price in Whatcom County for March 2021, it's at $520,000. That's a huge price tag for Whatcom County. We're going to take a look back like 3 years ago. Yeah, still really high. And the actual number, 518,795. This InfoSparks graph just rounds up, but that's a 20.5% increase year over year. Now, what does that mean? That obviously it means it's a fantastic time to sell your house. There's more buyers than there are homes on the market, simple supply and demand. And where will that go? So there's this conversation in real estate, I think nationwide, definitely here in Western Washington, that the pandemic is really driving these prices high, and people can move from wherever they want to go work wherever they want. So they want to come someplace like Whatcom County. I definitely think that's true, and I think that that's a contributing factor. However, let's look at this median sales price, and let's look back 5 years. This has been growing steadily since 2016. Yes, this last year, it was a much larger jump than we have seen, but this has been happening for quite some time. And yes, it's natural appreciation, but also we've seen people coming from Seattle, from California, from bigger cities to come and live in a place like Whatcom County because they want to get away from the smog and the crime and the traffic. And why Whatcom County? Well, if you live here, right? It's incredible. It's beautiful. It's clean. It's friendly. It's oceans and it's mountains. And so people have been doing this for quite some time. So the prediction here, and as we look ahead at the trend, when the pandemic's over, I do think that we will kind of even out somewhat, but our home prices are not going to go down. This trend that we've been seeing for years is going to continue on even after the pandemic. I don't know what that means or what the world will look like, but our real estate market will stay solid. So I do think that we're reaching not a peak by any means, but this is a very, very hot time to list your property and sell your home. There's a lot of money to be made for those who are opportunistic and willing to take advantage of it. So there you go. That's your Statistical Saturday for this Saturday. And we'll be back next week to take a look at something else that I hope you find exciting and interesting. Talk to you next week.